Hey, everybody. It's Kim Dahnke, the Shibboleth new member, fast track instructor, and I am so glad to be here with you tonight. Excuse me. So, bad news, my phone has died, meaning the battery, and I cannot see Facebook tonight. So, if you are on Facebook and you want to have interaction, the best way to have interaction is to log into your account. If you're a member, go to the pink online webinars tab and go ahead and just click join this webinar. And then we can have interaction through Zoom. But if you're on Facebook and you don't mind that you don't have to interact, then that's fine. You can be on Facebook. I just don't have a phone or an iPad or anything to look at because my phone is old and the battery runs out quickly and I need a new cord. Don't we all have those things go on sometimes? So anyway, it was at 1% and it went away. But if you are in the Zoom room, please take a second to find the chat feature and then click where it says hosts and panelists and change the option to everyone. After you have done that, please say hello, just like Michelle did. Hey, Michelle, glad you're here with us tonight. I'd love to know a few bits of information. Are you brand new? Are you restarting? Are you not a member and you somehow got invited and you want to know more about what we have to teach? I would absolutely love for you to tell me those things. Also, if you are had a perfect day today, tell me you had a perfect day. That'd be awesome. I had a perfect day today. After I had a holiday yesterday, I chose not to eat until lunch, really wasn't hungry. And then I had a snack for dinner. That's it. 2 meals today. Do I have to do that? No, I could have eaten all my meals, but that's how I felt pretty bad actually after that holiday. And so I chose not to do too much. So let me know what kind of day you had, and we'll give everybody a chance to get in here. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. We got Michelle and Nikki. Hey, Nikki. And Deb. Hey, Deb. And then Tisha. Good new member. Yay. Second day on the program. Awesome. And 2 perfect days. I love it. She already knows how to talk the talk. Perfect days. Awesome, Tisha. Hey, Chris. Glad you're here. Georgianne. Let's see. Yeah, Georgianne. Good evening, member, and need to learn more. Good. You've come to the right place. And Michelle, I just love learning something new every night. Had a perfect day. Awesome. Hey, Kay. Hey, Kimberly. First EFB day. Woo! EFB, baby. That's right. That's wonderful, Kim. And then Chris. IMF day, 7 p.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 eating episodes today. Okay, awesome, awesome. Now, she has locked it in a little bit more than you have to if you're brand new, but this is what's so great about Shibboleth. You've got your guidelines and then you have flexibility within those guidelines. You just don't want to go outside of the guidelines so that you can get the results that you want. Let's see, Deb had a perfect day, a wow, hot chocolate and power crunch day. That sounds like my kind of day, Deb. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started because we do have a lot to cover tonight. And tonight's a fun and exciting night. It is the night that I love the flexibility too, Chris. I really, really do. This is the night that we're going to talk about grocery lists and how to put foods into a grocery list, how to put entire recipes into the grocery list, and we're going to have a look at the grocery list. But in and amongst all of that, we are playing in the recipe library, and the recipe library is worth by itself the membership price. Okay. If you are with us tonight and you do not have a membership, you can get a membership at shibbolethdeals.com. shibbolethdeals.com. Currently, it's $50 for a year. I was talking to somebody the other day that does another program. It's like $25 a month. I see ads and signs on billboards in my area. Weight loss, $69 a month. You can do the same thing with us for $50 a year, okay? Because we run ourselves as a ministry. We truly want to be able to help people live a better life. And we feel that this part of healing will help them live that better life. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna share my screen. All right, so we are on lap 4 of Fast Track. And if you have just gotten started with this, I want you to make sure that you go back and do lap 1 and lap 2 and lap 3. But this 7-day curriculum was really meant, it's a curriculum kind of meant for 7 days, but you can work in and out of the laps. They are created to kind of be done in order because it'll be a building process of learning and knowledge for you. And you can go back and do each one of these things on your own. If you are a member that's been around for a while, please go through and work through each and every one of these. Sometimes it's the act of doing this one thing that will really kind of trigger, oh, I understand that. Oh, I get that. Oh, that's why they say that. Oh, you need the O's to be able to create that assimilation into your life, the new habits, and to internalize what it is you need to do now moving forward to do 2 things. 1, get the results that you want, and 2, keep the results that you achieve. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to do today is we're going to add a food item from the food library to a grocery list. So when I hover my mouse over that action item, the black box pops up. The black box is different for every action item. So you want to read that because that's the instructions on what to do for that particular action item. For practice, pick any food item from the food library and add it to a grocery list. Adding a food item to a grocery list can be done from 2 places. In the food list, it's the last button to the right of the food item listing. Once you have opened a food item, it's the green button that looks like a list. Now, what I'd love for y'all to do is tell me 3 things. The first 3 things that I see, I'm going to go ahead and look up and add to the grocery list, okay? While y'all are typing, I'm going to go ahead and click there, get us over to the food library. And the first 3 things I see to look up, we're going to add those to a grocery list. So something you're curious about. Because not only are we going to add it to a grocery list, we're going to look at it too and see how you could use it. So y'all don't be afraid to type in. The sooner you type something in, the sooner we move on. Says the school teacher. All right, I see something. Salmon. Okay, so I'll start with salmon, but I need 2 more, y'all. Okay, I got them, awesome. And I got 4. Okay, we'll have a look at all of them. Okay, salmon, S-A-L-M-O-N. Okay, so I typed that in my search bar and I hit enter because it'll do it. I'm going to let salmon come up. Salmon returns with 33 results. Now, what that means is that the word salmon is in 33 different food items in our food library. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go down just to salmon, regular salmon. So as we see right here, salmon is a -3 on the weight loss meter. I have hearted it, added as a favorite. 179 other people have also hearted it. And if I just want to add it to a grocery list, I can do that right there. So when you click that list, this box pops up. To create a brand new list, let's just say I'm going to do Ingalls today. I'm going to do Ingalls. And then I'm going to choose today as the date. This creates me a brand new list and it automatically pops that very first thing, salmon, into the list. So salmon just went into that list. Let's have a look at the full listing of salmon. So salmon is a category 1 lean protein because all fish is a category 1 lean protein. It's all the other critters that live in water, whether or not they have a shell, they go in the shellfish category and we call that category 7. just due to biblical reasons and medical reasons. Some people don't want to eat shellfish, so that's in its own category. But technically, category 1 and category 7 are really just lean proteins. Okay, so I've given it 5 stars, and this is a -3 on the weight loss meter, so that's excellent for weight loss. These are also some other things that you saw in that individual listing there. If I wanted to add this to my grocery list from right here, I could click this green button. Approved portion, 4 to 6 ounces, 6 to 8 ounces for men. You can come down here, you can read that description. You find lots of great information in the description. And then if there are any recipes that are including salmon, you're going to find them right down here below, which is amazing. And then people have confirmed where they can buy salmon. So if I wanted to add something, look, I'm going to show you something new today. I'm going to click down here and I'm going to go to Ingles. You can buy salmon at Ingles, and I'm going to hit save. And now watch what happens. There's the Ingles. Okay. Now, if somebody comes along and they say, no, I did not find any salmon at Ingles, they would hit that minus button and give us, nope, I did not find that there. All right. So now let's have a look at fat-free cheese. I'm just going to type in cheese. This might be scary because that's going to be in a lot of names, but we'll see what we find. But I'm just trying to show you different ways to look at it. I could type in fat-free cheese too, but I was curious about that one. All right, yeah, see, 232 results came up with the word cheese in a food item. So let me see, because she specifically asked for fat-free cheese, and you can see I've typed that in before. And now we have 15 results. Okay. So fat-free cheese, actually, there's a lot of fat-free cheese. So if you're looking for a single, you can buy the singles, you can buy the shredded, that type of thing. And some of these things are listed like fat-free cheese with another item that's kind of listed there. Now, I particularly enjoy the Borden fat-free American cheese singles. And I don't like pepper jack, but a lot of people do, and they like those right there. But that American, it's a category 1 lean protein, and see right here under category, and it's also a condiment. So it depends on how you're using it. See right over here, if you're having 3 to 4 slices, it would be a category 1. And if you had 1 slice, it would be a condiment. And then you could come down here and you could read the description. And then this gives you recipes that include that particular product. And then down below, it tells you where to buy. Let me see. I'm not sure if I've ever clicked this, but I buy this at Ingles. I'm going to click that. Yep. See how that number went up to 10? I also buy this at Publix, and that just increased that number from 5 to 6. Okay. So this just gives people information, and that's member entered data. So if there's nothing there, it just means members haven't gone in and added anything there. Okay, so that is, and there's other fat-free cheeses, but all the fat-free cheeses are going to either be a lean protein by itself if you're using it as a component of a meal, or it can be a condiment if you're just using 1 slice. Okay, let's look up sweet potato. Sweet potato. Okay. So it's a 0 on the weight loss meter, meaning not going to help you, not going to hurt you. But in my mind, what is happening right now, it's a little alarm going off. Ding, ding, ding. Because I know a sweet potato is category 3. I have hearted it. 196 other people have. And if I wanted to toss that into my grocery list from right there, I could, but I'm going to do it from right over here. And look, I just click there. And I've already created the grocery list I'm working on. So I'm going to mark that and hit add. And then it tells you right here that it's an energy carb. It's also a gluten-free product, and your approved portion is 1/4 of a cup. In your measurement tools, 1/4 of a cup is going to sit about right there. Okay. If you had more than that, it would be outside of the portion rules. And this category 3 must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Okay. So if you like a category 3, if you like a sweet potato, please write that in your category 3 list of your favorites. I'm hoping that you are creating that list this week. There's some additional information about the description. There's a couple of recipes with sweet potatoes in there, and there's all kinds of places that people have said they have purchased sweet potatoes. So that is really, really good. And now let's look at coffee creamer. Now she says sugar-free coffee creamer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come right here and click on the creamer link, because we have a creamer link, and I know that we have a creamer link. It's all in that one grouping. So I'm going to click there. And so Connie would just be able to look at this and look at her different creamers. Lots and lots of choices, lots of the typical Nestle, and then there's the Walden Farms calorie free, and there's some silk product, there's some So Delicious, there's some nut pods. Now these are just, in general creamers, but if you're specifically looking for sugar free, make sure that it says sugar free in there, because see, some of these things are used, they may not be sugar free, but it still tells you how to use them. Hello, Angelia. And then, so let's say right here, we want to add this natural, this sugar-free chocolate cream powdered creamer. I'm just going to add it to my grocery list from right there. We're just going to pretend that we already know we like it, and that's how you would add it. But let's say that you go, you know what is this nut pods? I've never heard of nut pods before. What do they look like? Oh, okay, nut pods. So you can see that what they look like, and you wouldn't want to use more than 15 calories per cup. So up to 1.5 tablespoons. You can have up to 15 calories of creamer with your coffee. And I was just looking at the little details right in there. And then nobody's linked any recipes, and one person has said that you can buy those at Kroger. Okay. And Chris says Walden Farms is best. Yes, we do sell a lot of Walden Farms product. Those things come into the shop and they are back out immediately in orders. It's crazy, but awesome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click off of that and go back to the fast track right here. Well, if I can get back there. Okay, so that first task was simply just to add some food items to the food library. So now you know how to do that. So we're going to go ahead and click there, and you know how to create a grocery list. Once you click add to a grocery list, it gives you the option of creating a grocery list. Okay, so that's what that little pop-up box is about. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do two things together at the same time. We're going to familiarize ourselves with the recipe library and add recipes to the grocery list. So let's go ahead and read these little black boxes. Search the recipe library for your favorites. This is a database built by our Shibboleth family. As you are exploring, please heart each recipe that you think you might like to try. Did you hear me? That you think you might like to try. Reason is, even if you don't know if you like it yet, because I know I have a hard time hearting things. I'm like, I hearted that. I can't give it a heart. I don't even know yet. But just feel comfortable. Hearting things puts them into a smaller recipe library for you. It creates your personal food and recipe library. It happens in both libraries. And it's easier to find recipes that you were interested in if you have hearted it. So heart it if you are even interested in it. So it'll put it in your favorites. And then let's read this one. This is so cool. Each recipe required ingredient can be added to the grocery list with the click of a button. Once that recipe has been opened, you click the green Add to Grocery List button. Okay, so we're going to click here and head over to the recipe library. The recipe library, when you're not in fast track anymore, is going to be accessed through this green button right here. Resources, foods, recipes, etc. This is going to be one of your favorite and most visited buttons besides the journal and the weekly timing chart and all that. Okay. So the way that this page is laid out is it's got some beautiful pictures right there that can say, oh, okay, what are all these lovely things that I get to eat on the Shibboleth lifestyle? So you've got some pictures there. This is where your favorites are, okay? If you want to add a new recipe, this is where it would go in, but caveat, make sure that you have already started a conversation with Kim Shibboleth on the Shibboleth Fixed It group on Facebook to make sure that y'all get it kind of right where it'll work. And then she might say, now go ahead and enter it over here in the recipe thing. So you need to have a conversation with her before clicking that. This filters button is really awesome because it will allow you to choose foods from cooking for the family, crock pot meals, things with just a few ingredients, cooking for 1 to 2 people, and some no bake type stuff. So those are those filters. As on most other pages in the website, there's a search bar right there. And if you're looking at this on an iPad or a computer or a tablet, you're going to see the screen like I'm seeing it here. But if you're looking at this on a phone, you're going to see it like this part over here. Okay. Now you probably still see some pictures and stuff. You just won't see it listed out like that. And you know how in a cookbook, it's always done by section, typically. You got appetizer, breakfast, condiments, the different types, side items, main dish. Here you go. Here's your sections. All right. And you just click on those and go directly to a section. Or right here in this other view, you can click appetizer and then simply scan your eyes down through all the different things that are in appetizer. Or once you get all the way down to breakfast, you can just scan your eyes down through what's in breakfast. Or if you just want to skip or jump right to side dish, you click on side dish. One of most of our members' favorite places on the recipe library is this one, the recently added. So got a couple of funny things right here. Potato chip sandwich. I'm going to open that in a new tab because I asked her to fix that one because we had some chips being used that unfortunately the company discontinued. You know, sometimes we find great products that we like, and then because they are a specialty product, and if they're not selling like crazy, not just for us but for the manufacturer of them, they change things up. The Fluffer Nutter peanut butter fluff sandwich. So there's people will find interesting things to eat in Shibboleth, and it's fun because it works. One day I heard somebody say, whoever this Brenda is, she's a great cook. So, you know, you might want to go through and look for Brenda's recipes. And then my friend Dawn, this is her husband, Mike. And so that might be, oh, somebody said that Pam's chili is really good. Open in, Smart Tart was discontinued, Candace. So now what your option is for a Pop-Tart is the Legendary Tasty Pastry. Legendary Tasty Pastry. But that Smart Tart, they discontinued it. I know. Believe me, I didn't like it at all because that brown sugar and cinnamon was really good. But the Legendary Tasty Pastry also has lots of great flavors. But the Legendary Tasty Pastry, brown sugar and cinnamon, they had to put a hold on making that one for a minute for some reason. You know, there's just supply chain issues everywhere. Okay, so now when we're looking at this, I want to explain these pictures. These pictures are what we call dynamic, meaning they change every time you come back to this page. So if you see something that you like and you're on a computer, the easiest and quickest and simplest thing to do is to say, ooh, salted caramel magic cookie bars. What I do is I right click it and I click open in new link, and it's got up a new tab up at the top. But the Legendary Tasty Pastry, it's at the site unless they're out of stock, Candace, unless they're out of stock. But yes, we do sell them. You just would need to check and see if they're out of stock or not. Now, I was in the shop yesterday, and I mean the warehouse, which is a small shop. I was in there yesterday and we had some, but if they sold, it should tell you. We try our best to keep that inventory up to date. Okay, so then let's see what this is. Velvety butternut cinnamon smoothie. Interesting. Oh, let's see here. Skinny Shibby hot chocolate. You know, I'm gonna right click and open that one and see how it's different. Baked breaded okra. Ooh, sounds good to me. These pictures. Almond butter fudge. Okay, let's open that one. Taco casserole. Oh my goodness, that sounds great. Sauteed pork chop with peaches. No bake, protein, peanut butter cups. Okay. All right, sounds good. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch opened up there just for looking at later. But what I'd like for y'all to do right now is I would like for you to tell me, I'm going to take three ideas of recipes that you're hoping that you find in the recipe library. We'll start off with those three. It'll get us started, but then I'll show you how to look for some other things too. So hopefully y'all have some ideas, some things that you make that you want to know if we have something similar. A lot of times you might say, oh, I love this kind of food. Okay, I see lasagna, chicken and dumplings. And you go, oh man, I wonder if they can fix the recipe for me. It's probably already fixed. So that's why you always want to look for something similar. Hey, Tisha, got that taco soup. Okay, so we got three. We will start. And if somebody else thinks of another one, please feel free to type it in. But we will start with those. Look, Chris and Teresa were thinking the same thing. I never knew the chicken and dumplings were so popular, but it really is something that just comes up in my feed all the time. So, okay, so let's look for lasagna. And obviously you can see I've typed that in before because that comes up quite a bit too. Okay, so I'm not being a happy clicker. See, I clicked it, but did you see how the screen was white for just a moment? That is because there's a lot of data and it takes a second for it to pull up. That's right, Chris, comfort food. Okay, white bean chili. Okay, we'll see if we can come up with that. So there's lasagnas there. And as I'm looking at the name, these are clickable. I'm going to come down here. I'm always curious. I like stats, so I'm curious. So there's 14 entries here. And okay, that's good. So, and remember I talked about these filters. Do you see these filters right here? Those are kind of cool. So if I wanted to add a filter to this search, I could now add a filter to this search. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you the way that this is laid out. You got your name of your recipe here, what category this is listed in. Most of these are going to be main dish, but look, we even have a category called Walmart. 99% of the ingredients come from Walmart. That way people aren't running all over town looking for ingredients. They know it, 99% of the ingredients come from Walmart. This WLM stands for weight loss meter. Do you see right here the weight loss meter? I could quickly and easily remove anything that are zeros and stuff like that by adjusting this weight loss meter up here. But I'm not going to do that right now. This is the number of likes that a recipe has gotten. What I want you to know about that is that when something has hundreds of likes or like almost 1,000 likes, what that means is it's been in the recipe library for years and it's just been real popular and people keep going back to it. But don't be afraid of trying new recipes without many likes, because maybe it just went in there last week and it wouldn't have the opportunity to have lots and lots of likes. Okay, so this is a great way to look at things, but don't let it limit what you try. And we do highly suggest that people go back in and like things or rate them. We want ratings. Now, just because something is rated doesn't mean that it's bad either. Okay, but you know, getting 5-star ratings, and there's a 4.5, there's a 4.7, there's a 4.8. You know, people are giving their opinions, which is good. Okay, well, I always like to adjust a list by what's the best for weight loss. And so I'm going to see how that hand is popping up. If I click in here, it's going to recalculate my list. So I clicked and you see what it did? Now this one doesn't have a weight loss meter in it. All that means is that this recipe has probably been in the recipe library longer than we were doing the weight loss meter. See, Travis will come up with ideas that you know, benefit everybody and are a new way to look at things, and he'll add them. But sometimes it's hard to go back and capture every little thing. So if you see a zero, I mean, if you don't see anything, you can ask. It would be fine. We'll be happy to go in there and put it in there if you really want to know. It's got 20 likes. Okay. but no ratings. So this one, the spaghetti squash lasagna with broccolini. Well, of course, that one's going to be a -3. You're using spaghetti squash lasagna. Okay, but I'm talking, most people are wanting to see like lasagna. Well, let's go down here and let's see what this slow cooker lasagna has. Actually, you know what I'm going to do just for the fun of it? I'm going to click crock pot. I'm going to add a filter. I'm going to click that crock pot filter and there we go. Okay, so that's the only one. That's the one I was going to click on anyway. Let's have a look at this. It's a -1 on the weight loss meter. Ooh, looks good. And you can print this recipe if you want to. Okay. You could 3-hole punch that, put it in a binder. Oh man. Okay, why does it do that? Oh man. This thing's opens up a new tab in a weird way, so bear with me. Okay, just for the fun of it, look, the picture's changed. Remember, every single time you come back to this page, the pictures change. Okay, so let's put in, I'm going to put in slow cooker, L-A-Z-A, I mean Z-A, L-A-S-A, because I know that's what the name of it is. There we go. Okay, so we click there. If I wanted to print it, I could do that. It's a -1 on the weight loss meter. This is where the rating system is. So if you don't like it, you click there. If you do really love it there. If it's just so-so, you click there. And I've hearted this one before. 126 other people have hearted it. Okay, so let's see. It's in the cooking for the family filter and it's in the crock pot filter. So you would use, in this particular one, 1 pound of 99% extra lean ground turkey breast or 99% extra lean ground chicken breast, a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 24-ounce jar of approved marinara sauce, and there's a suggestion for you, 1 3/4 pound of eggplant, unpeeled, diced, and that's a category 2. Okay, so I love that there's layer after layer of education. Do you see that if you can't remember because you're brand new what an eggplant is? Boom, category 2, fibrous carb. Yay. Okay, 1 1/4 cups of water, 15 ounces of low-fat cottage cheese, category 1, 1 cup of fat-free shredded mozzarella cheese, category 1, a 1/4 cup of egg white substitute, category 1. So right now, I've seen all category 1s and 2s in here. So this would be really great. And you get your parsley. And now we're getting to the pasta part. 1 package of carbonara pasta. Now I want you to scan over here. We went over this last night, but look, carbonara pasta is a category 1, category 2, and category 3. So this category 3 right here is determining that you will not have any protein plus fat with this, and there's not. So that's good. Okay, so it kind of gives you the directions there. I'm not going to go over all of that. Gives you the directions, and there is a, please note that the cooking time should not exceed 4 hours. This is not an all-day slow cooker meal. Okay, that's good to know. It even tells you how to journal that in your journal. It's 1 + 2 + 3 + condiment. Recipe makes about 8 servings, so that'd be a great family meal, like it said. It's been in there since 2012, which is good. Use your hand rules for measuring. And then if you have any questions, you can put this in here. Look, somebody says, where did the eggplant go? Where does the eggplant go? And Dr. J. Shibboleth says, in with the meat. And then somebody says, did you ever find out? I need to know also. Well, the answer's right there. So, okay. And if you have a comment or a question, you can ask it there and hit post. But if you want an immediate answer, you could ask a question really on the Shibboleth Fixed It group. This is more like when they get to work the next morning, they see these. Okay. All right. So if you think this sounds really good, I would like to add this to my grocery list. You click right there. And now we're going to add this to the Ingalls list. Okay. And click add. All right. So now let's have a look at chicken and dumplings. Now I'm going to put in chicken because I want to just see how many, and I'm not clicking, I'm letting it calculate. The reason I find it important to tell y'all that is if you click, 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 you end up in like, I don't even know where I am. So just click and release your hands and let it think. So we have 373 entries that have the word chicken in it. So let's say you've got some chicken frozen in the freezer and you need to figure out what to do. Just come on in here and type in chicken. You'll find something to do. But at this point, I don't need 373. So I'm going to say, which ones are the best for weight loss? I want to see all the negative numbers. I don't want anything that's a positive number. And so I just slid my little slider ball down and I hit set. Let me see. So it took it down to 291 entries. I still don't need 291 entries, but I don't want to limit my list anymore by the slider ball. I'm going to click weight loss meter, and then it's going to just put the -3s at the top. There we go. And now I can start just kind of scanning down through there. Y'all, last night when we were looking at the food library and the Coach mode meals, this basil lime grilled chicken was one of those. And then I'm just going to kind of scan real quick just for the fun of it to see if chicken and dumplings was on that list. And I don't see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to put, look, do you see how I started typing that in? And do you see that 2 recipes popped up? We got Carb Quick chicken and dumplings and chicken and dumplings, which probably uses Carb Quick. Okay. Now this one is, which one do you think's been around longer? That one with the 496 has to have been around longer. Okay. And they're both -1s on the weight loss meter, but let's just click on this one. Okay, so 1 pound of cooked shredded chicken breast, 2 to 4 tablespoons ghee butter or MCT oil, poultry seasoning or salt, pepper, and garlic to season chicken, 1 cup Carb Quick, water, 2 cups chicken broth, 1 can fat-free or reduced fat cream of chicken soup, and ground black pepper to taste. Okay, so you make them, and then it says description, very yummy chicken and dumpling recipe that is low carb, but also family approved. It must be cooked in the oven as instructed, as opposed to in a pot on the stove, because the hot liquid tends to make Carb Quick dumplings fall apart if they don't have a binder. This was probably written by a chef. Let's see who, okay, I don't know, doesn't say. So 1 to 1.5 cups. This is the kind of information that helps a person like me who's not much of a cook. So I'm glad that person saw that fit to put that in there. So this is a 1 and a 2. Guess what the 2 is? The Carb Quick. Imagine the flour or the breading that we use is like a fibrous carb. Amen. You can have up to 1 cup with a category 2 vegetable or side salad, or 1.5 cups alone. And we got a lot of comments right there. And if you have to say something, you can do that. Okay. And it's really great to read these comments, because this is where you will see little things that you might need to adjust with your cooking. So let's say we want to add this to our grocery list. We can add that to the grocery list. Now I'm going to go back, and just for the fun of it, I'm going to look at that other one. Now I want to point out, see, this one's dumplings without a G and the other one was with a G. Okay. So this one you're using carbonara noodles, chicken breast, water, cream of chicken soup, and better than bouillon. Okay. So this is not even using, this isn't really using any Carb Quick. Okay. So what they're calling this is they're using that carbonara as dumplings. Okay. And that would be fun too. So either way. And somebody said this was very good. So if I want to add this to my grocery list, I click there and I add that to my grocery list. Okay. So let's look up taco soup. I've looked up taco soup before because it popped in there. All right. So we have 5 options, and I don't really need to do much filtering of this list because I can see right there most of them are -1s or a 0. So let's have a look at taco soup right here. Let's just choose this one. Okay, you got your ground turkey or shredded chicken breast, a large onion, Hidden Valley Ranch dressing mix, taco seasoning mix, kidney beans, pinto beans, chili hot beans, diced tomatoes, and rotel. So you cook it up, and then this is a 6 and a 1. So it says eat alone or with a category 2. So I love that you give your little description down there and all of that. Oh, look, and there's a video. I'm not going to play it full, but don't you just love this when you find a little, oh, especially when you get the cute couple. But this right here, you get to watch that little video, which is great. And then look at all the comments. So you get a lot of positive feedback or tips for cooking right there. And let's see, did I add that to my grocery list? I can't remember, so I'm going to give it a shot. It will tell you if you did. Believe me, it goes, already added that. I'm just kidding. Now let's look at, let's see. I'm going to type in a white bean chili. Now I've not typed that in before. I've typed in chili before, but I want to see, okay, so we have 3 that have white bean chili. So we've got butternut squash and white bean chili, white bean and chicken chili, and white bean chicken chili. Look at there. It's just one difference in the word and the and. Okay. They're all -1 on the weight loss meter. There's a vegetarian one if you're interested in that. And then let's just click on this one. And I'm not going to read every little detail at them, but there's your ingredients. There's your directions. This is a superfood and a lean protein with a condiment. Okay, so when something says with a condiment, that means that it's used your condiment for that meal, that you wouldn't want to add additional condiments to this. 1 to 1.5 cups. And then there's, some other information right there. And look, see right here, Trina says, can I change beans to pinto or black beans? And Kim, who is Kim Shibboleth, by the way, when you see these people named Joni Shibboleth, Missy Shibboleth, Kim Shibboleth, Amy Shibboleth, and so forth, that's not their last name. They have real last names. They just use that as their Facebook persona in order to have be able to help people and not have it be on their own personal page. So that's what that is. But Kim Obermeyer is her name. And she says, yes, that's fine. You can change it to pinto or black beans. And then right here, I'm new at this. So could you add a can of green chilies? She says green chilies are a freebie. So that's fine. Well, the way that I would actually look at that is I would look at it as green chilies are a category 2. I don't like peppers. So what other veggies work? You can use any category 2 veggies in place of the peppers. And then she says, I only got 5 servings of 1.5 cups each. And how much chicken do you put in this recipe? 1 pound. And then somebody said, really good. So there's just lots of good feedback down there in the comments. All right. So one other thing that I wanted to show you before, well, you know what? I'll do it next week. I'm going to do that next week. But I'm going to come over here to click on the filters. When I click on the filters, if I want specifically cooking for one, see right now, when I clicked on filters, this is every recipe in the recipe library. If I want to narrow it down to cooking for 1 to 2 people, I would click that link. Do you see how it's green now? That means that's chosen. Now I'm going to let it, okay, so now it's got its list here. I can just simply click in that weight loss meter square and it will put them in order for me. So I can scan down with what's the best of the best. And I like that because if I'm really wanting to stay in a fish, I call it deep EFB. Travis has never sanctioned that as official terms, but if you really want to, like you're in EFB and you just want to stay in locked and loaded with your fat burning, I want to know what the negatives are. How do we end up with all these ones that are, let me go to 4. There's 88 entries here. I'm going to go to page 4. How do we end up with some things that are 0? Because people ask and they're like, I really want to see this. Can I do that? And we put it in there, but then we tell you you know, we got to have the nuances. This is not going to help you, not going to hurt you, but it won't take you out of the EFB. So that's kind of the difference between staying in negative numbers or going into the positive numbers. Let's see, what is a fried tortilla? No, I don't want to look at that. I'm going to go back over here. I like to look, I really like to look at negatives. So we're back over here. Okay. So, let's look at this little side dish, popcorn okra. Let's click there. It's got 328 likes. And look, it looks just like my grandmother used to do it. I would always ask her, grandmother, will you burn up some okra for me? And she thought it was cute because I liked it really, really crisp. I don't know about y'all, but I wanted it really crisp. And did y'all have grandmothers or grandparents that used to put the fried foods on the paper sacks from the grocery store to soak up all of the grease? Anybody remember that? So this is one of the, maybe I'm from the country and we did that there. I don't know if anybody else did. But 1.5 pounds of fresh okra sliced thinly, 0-calorie cooking spray, and some salt. How simple is that? And what I like to do with this is I like to put it in my air fryer, or I will put it in the oven on a pan with my convection running if you've got convection, or just put it on there. And I like to brown it up where it's really crisp. So this counts as a category 2, and it says and a freebie, but y'all, we only eat freebies in a moment of mental weakness. We don't just randomly add them to food, because if we just added them to a meal, you can't pack them in and expect them to fit. So when you're eating with a meal, it's a category 2. It's a -3 on the weight loss meter, which is really, really good. Okay, so real quick, let's look at a few of those other things that I had kind of pulled up. This no bake protein peanut butter cups. You need cupcake liners. Okay, so powdered peanut butter, water, 0% plain Greek yogurt, cocoa powder, and protein mix. Beverly, that sounds good. That sounds really good. I'm going to add that to my grocery list. Okay, and I've got that hearted. Okay, let's get that. Okay, taco casserole. I'm going to go ahead and heart that. I do not know if I'd like it, but I want to be able to find it easier next time. I want to remember that I thought it sounded good. Okay. All that looks like stuff I would eat. Okay, this is very, very important. Do you see right here where it says a 1 + 3 and all of your condiment must be served with a category 2? Well, because this is a 1 and a 3. Well, a 1 and a 3 is not a proper combination. So you would need to do a category 2 or a side salad with 0-calorie dressing. This is the type of information that I love because it keeps me in EFB. And I benefit from all of this information in here. Look, there's a video right there too. Okay, so I'm going to add that to my grocery list. Okay, almond butter fudge. Now look right here. This is a 1 on the weight loss meter. So if you are in weight loss mode, this is not something that I would eat on a regular basis. This might be something I would have as a special treat for something. Now it won't take you out of EFB, so that's why you can eat it. But if you were to do it a lot, you might not see the results that you want. So let's see, serving notes. I just want to read this. Okay, so it's 1 serving can be a snack. And 1 serving, okay, so it makes 16 servings. So I guess you would just make it, cut it into 16 servings, and 1 serving could be a snack. That all sounds good to me. Man, I saw lots of things on there that I liked today. Okay, there's baked breaded okra. Okay, let's see what they're doing differently than those others. So they're saying 1 cup of fine breadcrumbs. So 4 slices of category 2 bread, toasted up, and then you can do it. Now, this is Lewis Healthy Life. You could use others if you want to, but that Lewis Healthy Life is pretty good on the weight loss meter. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 pounds fresh okra, 1/2 cup of egg whites, and 0-calorie cooking spray. So you're going to do some dredging and stuff like that and mixing. And that sounds good too. It all sounds good. And then Skinny Shibby hot chocolate, Kroger Carb Master or fat-free Fairlife milk, 1 tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder, 0 calorie sweetener to taste, half a teaspoon vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt. Okay. So this was a really cool description. Are you craving hot chocolate and out of your prepackaged stuff? Quickly make your own. And it would count as half of a snack. Mike could call that an extra, but they call it half a snack. We'll call it half a snack. That's what they said. Okay. I'm not going to make that myself. If I run out of my prepackaged stuff, I just run out of it. All right. That sounds good. Salted caramel magic cookie bars. Now it's a 1 on the 1 on the weight loss meter. I'm scanning. I would eat all that. Serving notes. The reason I'm going down and look at these serving notes is, I'll show you in just a second. This is 1 serving is a snack. Okay, so that's a snack. I think I might like to try that. Let's see. Let me show you something. I'm looking up bread pudding. This bread pudding is delicious, absolutely delicious. I did a little video on it too, and it's on my YouTube channel. But right here it says recipe makes about 4 servings. Yes, Chris, it is so good. But why I got really super excited about it is this last line. You may have this as a snack or a category 1 and 2 meal. I mean, who gets to eat bread pudding on their healthy living lifestyle? We do. So I made this and I had 3 servings of it. One day I did eat it as a snack, and my husband also ate it, and that's good. And then I ate it as a meal the other 2 times. And then I haven't made it since, but I really liked eating it as a meal because it made me feel like I was having dessert. Now, do I want to do that all the time? No. And I've only made it the 1 time. I've eaten it multiple times at other people. Like right here, I wrote delicious. My friend Jan Hare made this for us at the beach. So I've eaten it a couple of times, but I really did enjoy eating that as a meal. It was very filling too. And you know what I want to do with this? I'm gonna show you something. I have a little special grocery list started. We're going to work on this next week. Okay. So come back next week for this. But when I click here, do you see what kind of grocery list I've got started? And I'm also going to do one for Christmas. I'm going to add this to my Thanksgiving 2021. This would make a great, if you've got people spending the night on a Wednesday night and you're going to make breakfast on Thursday morning, you should do this for the sweet, because you know how people like do pastries and all that kind of stuff. They're not going to have a crazy insulin impact with this. So I'm doing this as a sweet. I'm going to take this to my family. I'm going to make it at home, and then I'm going to take it with me to my dad's house for Thanksgiving meal in the morning. But you put this with the best breakfast casserole. It'll be really, really good. And you get a little bit of sweet and you get a little bit of breakfast casserole. Delicious. So I've got that little thing started. Okay. So we've had a lot of fun with that, but that's why I was going to those other things, immediately scanning to the bottom and seeing, okay, can I eat that as a meal or is it legit just a snack? And it said snack. Now I could probably dig into it a little bit more and see if it could be eaten as a meal, but I don't do all that work. It said snack. That's what I'm going to think of it as. Okay. Oh, I have heard that Pam's chili is good. Patty Bass has told us that that's really good. I'm going to go ahead and heart that. Click that. Okay. I like it because it's not a whole bunch of ingredients there. Okay. I'm trying to close out some of these things. Oh, the potato chip sandwich. Let's see what they did it with Quest chips. I'm not going to like that one. Okay. So now we've done this. We have familiarized ourselves with the recipe library. Did you have fun? Did you have fun? Because this was I love looking at the recipe library. And we've added recipes to the grocery list. So we've done those 2 tasks. Well, the next task is to check out your created grocery list. Each grocery list can be customized before going shopping. When a full recipe is added to the grocery list, it adds every item needed. You may already have some staples at home. When you look at your grocery list, you can edit the items you do not need to purchase at the store. Notice how each item in the grocery list is is listed by category. Isn't that amazing? And it also adds at the bottom which recipes you were putting that stuff in your grocery list to make. So let's click there. Okay, so now we're in this grocery list. To find your grocery list when you're not doing fast track, it's in that green button. Okay, so you click on the green button, you go to grocery lists. Now I'm going to click on this Ingalls one that we were building tonight. Everything is listed by category. So this is just another little attempt for us to say, okay, folks, this is lean proteins. This is your fibrous carbs. When you look over here at the energy carbs, I want your brain to be going ding, 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 because we got to treat them properly. If we had any fruit on here, we need to be thinking the same thing about that. Okay. And then I'm going to scroll down and look right here. There's the listing of all of the recipes that we were throwing that stuff into our grocery list for. All right. So to talk about editing a grocery list, it's just this simple. You know, if you're like me and you like to have a nice, clean grocery list to look at, I want to take things off that I don't need to concern myself with at the store. So I'm just going to kind of scan my eyes over some of these things, and let's just say I don't need Splenda. You take that off. Okay. Now, but I always leave water on my list, y'all. The reason that water ended up on here is because it's in some of those recipes, but I always leave it on my list because I always need to buy more of that. So I leave that on my list. I probably don't need Pam cooking spray. I'm going to remove that from my list. You know, it's just, you don't have to even do this, but I do because I like to have a clean list to go from in the grocery store. And look, so do you see right here how there's a difference? It says salt, and then right down here it says salt and pepper. Well, that's just because the person, remember, we let people, our members, enter that information. So when they enter that in the grocery list, it's just what they chose to be the wording. And it listed it. We linked it and it listed it because they actually choose the links that it links to. Well, let's say that you go, I don't need to have this salt on my list because I got salt and pepper listed right there. See how it removed it? And then right here, ghee, clarified butter, and ghee butter. It's the same thing. So let's just say I can remove that one and I don't have to concern myself with needing two of them. Okay, well, there's my list. I can do this. I'm not going to click print because for some reason it's going behind a little area I can't access while I'm in Zoom. So you could print this, okay, which would be great. Now, let's say that you're here and you say, oh, goodness, I need Laughing Cow cheese for my wraps. I'm out of Laughing Cow. Oops. So I just click that button. It takes me to the food library. I can say, oh, yes, I need this Laughing Cow wedge. Click, Ingalls, add. And now I have, let's see, it should have gone into condiments. Laughing Cow cheese wedge right there. So you can even add stuff to your grocery list. And then, like I said earlier, my phone has died, but otherwise I would show you how to access this on a phone. On a phone, now this is not on the app. If you've gotten the Shibboleth app, this isn't on the app. There's way much more accessible on the mobile-friendly website. But on the phone, when you log into your account, you can go to this green button right here, and then you come down here to My Grocery Lists. You can click on that on your phone. Then you can click on the Ingalls list, and literally while you're in the grocery store, if you choose to, you can remove the things that you've purchased. Now, if you're making recipes and stuff, I don't know, you might want to have a printed list or either not remove them, but you can. I just want to show people that little feature. Well, I hope you've had fun tonight. If you have been listening and you are not a member, please know that the first class is always free. We do like for people to see what we have to offer. And then if you like what you see and you hear, we do ask that you get a membership. But that's how you get access to all of that. So right now it's $50 for a year, which is amazing. And you can get that at shibbolethdeals.com. You're welcome. Thank you, Michelle. Shibbolethdeals.com. And if you're a member, and you want a friend to do this along with you, consider just getting them a membership of their own. I mean, Christmas is coming up, so we can gift a membership to somebody too. So just keep that in mind. And I hope that y'all have a great night. Tomorrow morning, I will be on the Shibby show in the morning. I'll actually do a little bit earlier tomorrow because I've got to be somewhere at 8. And so then tomorrow night, we're going to do freebies, extras, snacks, meal replacements, and those also can be considered void replacements. So we're going to be talking about those 5 things tomorrow night. I hope that y'all have a perfect day tomorrow, and I will see you around. Bye. Yes, Chris, see you in the morning.